We run a marketing agency in the mid-spa niche.
When we joined, we had just hit 50K and everything was falling apart.
You first joined License and Scale, was it 4 months ago now?
We were one of, not the first, but some of the first.
We're based in Switzerland, but we work with US clients. Last month we did 130K.
And the big turning point was actually the mastermind. I went to your mastermind, being there, seeing the people talk, you just realize, Jesus Christ, I'm doing nothing.
Liv and JC, welcome on to the YouTube channel. For the people that do not know who you are, what you do, if you just want to give us a full overview of your agency, where you're based, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, so we run a marketing agency in the med-spa niche. We're based in Switzerland, but we work with US clients. Last month we did 130K. I don't know if I want to say stuck, but kind of stuck for a while, below the 100K mark for sure. So yeah, great to break through.
Boom, there we go. So I want to dive into, number one, what allowed you to break through that. But more importantly, because I know you first joined License and Scale, was it 4 months ago now? How long ago is it? Do you remember?
It's a while ago. We were one of, not the first, but some of the first.
You were one of the OGs.
Yeah.
So just curious, like going back to May, whereabouts was you guys revenue-wise? What were the biggest constraints that were keeping you stuck from growing or not growing at the level you could or should be?
When we joined, we had just hit 50K and everything was falling apart. No systems, clients leaving, no call center, or at least not a working one. Not a fun time to be an agency owner, to say the least.
Okay, so you were like the call center was a little bit of a mess, no systems, you're doing about 50K. I remember when you came in, you had like a predominantly pay on results offer as well.
Yes.
Right? Are you still running that offer?
No.
No, you decided to move away
Yeah,
from
it was too complex. And we were spending
Yeah.
like hours just figuring out how much to bill people. And that's just a huge waste of time.
I completely agree. And I know when you first came in, like one of the first challenges that you had, it was you didn't have a good CSM in place. And I know recently you actually had to weed one out and bring a new one in. Did you get that problem solved?
Yes, we did. Yeah, so
Good. So you guys aren't really as much involved in client delivery right now when it comes to communication?
no, not at all.
Sick. And what do you feel like, because I feel like a lot of people get stuck there where, you've got like 20 clients or so, 30 clients, you're spending a lot of time in fulfillment, communicating with clients. What was the process of you, because you've been through a few CSMs now, what was your process of bringing one in, ramping them up, and how did that allow you to break through to 6 figures a month?
Yeah, so the process is pretty simple. We just followed your framework. And of course, we screwed up big time with the first one, but that's on us. Yeah, the second time I can't recommend people enough to get that CSM if they are at that, 15, 20-ish mark if they don't have any partner. I also think getting the CSM part of what Propel does, because now we actually have time to, like, super cliche to say, but work on the business and not in it. So that was big getting him, and a good one, to say the least.
So over the last 4 or 5 months or so, what were the biggest actions that you guys took to go from 52? I think last month you hit, what was it, 110, 120?
130.
130, boom, even better. What were the big revenue-driven actions that you took in terms of we hired this person, then we scaled ad spend to this? What did that look like?
A lot of things. In the beginning, we had that bad CSM, which really didn't do anything good for us, and we didn't have a call center. So basically the whole service delivery side was kind of messed up. We spent so much time just following your SOPs and getting everything in place. And then everything really switched once we fired the CSM, got a call center manager in place as well, which helped a lot. I could focus more on sales and JC could focus more on just improving the current CSM.
Got you, okay.
Yeah, then I think the biggest thing is not being afraid to spend on ads, and also what you recommend, because we never had any crazy 10x return on our ad spend. I think we never had more than between 3 and 5 at best, but we just kept scaling like a 3x. You put $1 out and put $1 in and get 3 out. Most people would accept that, so we just kept doing that.
Yeah, it's so funny because the amount of people that do that, where they're at a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, they're waiting for this perfect condition where all the stars align, all the magic of luck falls into their place, they're getting a 1 to 30x until they decide to scale. When the reality is it's probably not going to be the case. If you're at a 1 to 3, who cares? Just scale the spend, There's never ever going to be a perfect condition, and if you wait for that, you're going to grow a lot slower than somebody that just goes, you know what, we're putting $1 in, getting $3 out, let's grow. You know, let's just scale the spend. How much did you guys spend on ads last month?
Roughly 20K last month.
Got you. And do you know like roughly what the ROAS was on that on the front end?
Roughly 3.3, 3.5, around that.
Yeah. Solid. So it's like at the baseline where it makes sense. Okay, we're going to scale spend. Let's just repeat successful actions.
Yep.
Cool. And you have the CSM in place now. You've got the call center manager that manages the call center. What about the sales piece?
Well, that's also something we struggled with because back in May or whenever we joined, we tried to hire a few closers and it just sucked every single time. And then I got back on the calendar, but way too late. Then we were good, hired a closer, he had to ramp up and whatever, and now we're fully good. So we're closing about 27%, which can definitely be better because we just hired a new one. So still ramping that up. But yeah, we're pretty good there, but can be better.
You guys, for the most part, besides managing the sales team, they're pretty much closing the deals, the CSM hands off. So you guys aren't really involved in that piece of the puzzle, as per se.
Nope.
Got you.
Not as-
So where are you guys spending a lot of your time right now?
That's a good question.
That's actually such a good question.
Trying to figure
Just,
out what the next
Yeah.
move is. We want to get into to figure out how do we get more out of the people we do have. So I mean, you can only get so far with somebody paying you on average 2K a month. So figuring out.
Yeah, managing people, maybe putting out fires, putting systems in place.
And I know, I'm just looking back at the onboarding doc when you first came in. I know another thing was, as you mentioned, there wasn't really like you didn't have Monday set up or like a project management system to manage people. How does that look for you guys now? Do you have that in place?
Yes.
We use Monday.
Awesome. And then final question on that piece then would be, I know we also had quite an extensive conversation on the pay structure where you were selling predominantly like, okay, pay X, get Y amount of shows. And then we spoke about potentially just taking the deposit. How has your pricing structure changed over the last 4 or 5 months?
So now we don't do any paper show or paper appointment, anything like that, because it was too complicated. We also didn't take any deposits. Now we do. Yeah, they can either pay us monthly or prepay for 3 months and save a bit of money.
Sick. Simple scales, fancy fails, right? I know that was one thing that was a pain in the ass for you guys when you first came in with the paper show.
For anybody that's contemplating, that's a crazy. I'm sure it can work out for some people, but for us it was a mess.
Yeah, I think there's problems with both models. I do think as well, different markets, more preferable payment structures. I think when you're in med spas, it's just a whole lot easier to take a deposit, which you're going to take anyway. That's your performance arm. So as you scale clients, they get better results, you make more. And then you also have the safety net of the retainer.
Exactly. And the deposit helps a ton with the profit margin. So the call center is not this big thing that's essentially sucking all your profit. Now it's more so the opposite. It's actually generating a little bit instead of only taking.
That was the same thing that we had. Like when I realized, why don't we just start taking the deposits? It's like we take the call center from being this thing that you hate having, that you pray that you can get rid of because you just don't want it, to like, okay, great. If I just train these people and they're, booking 5-10 appointments a day on average, it's a profit center now. It makes an ROI for me as much as ads make an ROI for me,
Like having that call center so you can actually guarantee these people something. And also the stress, we're less stressful having it because we know, okay, this person is actually going to get results compared to when you leave it up all to the client. Like, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think the more of the client complexity you can eat or take on as the agency, the more of a moat you build as well. It's a lot easier to get clients results that way as opposed to, like, it's more complex in the fulfillment, but it's less complex for the client, which is ultimately better for us. It's harder to replicate. Moving into, I guess, more like the program specific side, what were the key things that you found were most valuable for you guys that allowed you to grow or at least helped you grow?
So definitely like systems, project management tools, trackers, all of that. But I think something that really changed everything for us was acting faster. Like we've been so fucking slow ever since we started. And now every time we know that there's something we need to do or something that could make us grow or make more revenue, we just do it right away. We don't wait. Which is like self-explanatory, but we didn't do that before. Definitely made a big change.
And the big turning point was actually the mastermind. Like I went to your mastermind in Mykonos this summer. Being there, seeing the people talk, and you just realize, Jesus Christ, I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting and and waiting. So after that, we really started to implement ASAP, and ever since, yeah, I mean it's gone well for us ever since. So that also helped a ton. Yeah, systems acting fast, I think is the two main takeaways.
I completely agree. It's like when you get in a room with people and you realize, oh, okay, it's kind of like the subtle, indirect things that you don't think you're gonna take in or learn as a result of just being around other people. Where it's like, oh, I understand that the minute this person has a problem, they solve it. So why does it take us a week to then start taking action on that? It really, in like a video, you have to be around those people to identify it and then go, okay, why don't we just start embodying this trait?
Yeah, I mean, we had a problem
Exactly.
with our appointment booking rate and our show rate for months, when in reality it should have taken us like a week to fix it.
Well, I think besides that, I guess one or two final questions would be, and this is more selfishly for me, that I want to improve the program. Is there anything that you would like to see that isn't implemented? And is there anything that you're like, okay, this is great, keep doing this, do more of this?
Yes,
I think something that's really great is employee boot camps that you have for ISA setters, sales reps, CSMs, everything. That's been a big help, like really.
and some videos about leadership, because as we grow and all the other people in the program grows, I think leadership is going to be retaining not only clients but team members, and keeping them happy and, well, doing what they're supposed to do also, of course. So stuff about leadership I would like to see.
It's coming. And more boot camps are coming too. We just had the media buy one that's about to go live. I'm happy to hear that is helping, because it is a pain in the arse to put those together. However, I know it's worth it, because if I had those, I was like, oh my god, that would have saved me so much time. You know, when you're just first figuring that out on like, how do I ramp up a team member? How do I SOP things to create digital leverage for myself? I remember locking myself in a room for like 2 to 3 months, building out boot camps. And it was a miserable 2 to 3 months, to be frank with you, but it was worth it. And it just saves you a whole lot of time in the grand scheme of things. But I think that was pretty much everything. The only other question I would have is, what's the goal next? Let's say going into Q1 2026, what's the target? Whether it be qualitative, on like, okay, we want to build this, build that, we want to hire this person. Quantitative, we want to hit this. And what are the necessary actions you need to take to hit it?
Yeah, so obviously it's keep scaling, and we're a bit unsure actually if we want to keep scaling like the amount of clients we're working with, or if we want to tweak the model so we get more out of the existing amount. So that's something for us to figure out. But revenue wise, it will, of course, to keep scaling. And exactly how it looks like, that's something we're working on.
Yeah, but I guess we want to hit a million a month in 2026.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Big goals, 5x that shit, or 10x that shit.
Yep.
Cool. That's pretty much everything. Well, JC, Liv, appreciate your time. Let's get to $1 million a month. See you guys shortly.
Absolutely.
Peace.